I think the profession of selling is changing a lot, and there'll be some who will say, well, it's still the same. You're still trying to go out, you're prospecting for new business, you're trying to talk to the right people. The chief decision maker has never been easy to get to. But I do think it's different because, especially in the last 2 or 3 years, I think buyers are just more discerning. And talking about business buyers here, although the same case could be made for consumer buyers. But I think buyers are more discerning. I think they're thinking twice or more about, am I going to stop what I'm doing and start doing something else? Am I going to throw out one vendor in favor of another vendor? And I think there's a lot of discernment there. And I think that the decision making has become more complex, and sellers are going to have to figure out how to navigate that landscape, because now it's not just one person's decision, especially at larger companies, even at small companies. It's never one guy or gal who says, yep, we're going to make that change. There are committees, and there's protocol, and there's politics, and there's all those things. If you're a seller today, and whenever I hear a seller talk about the decision maker, I know he doesn't know what he's talking about, because there's very seldom one decision maker. That's one way it's changed. I think another way that the profession is changing is, what's the role of the salesperson today? It used to be in the 70s and 80s, and I hate to be that guy who's always talking about the way things used to be, but I think this is fact, it's my opinion, that it used to be that the sales professional had the information the customer wanted, had the spec sheet, had the capacity things, had the knowledge of the industry and the product. But frankly, knowledge is cheap today. If I'm a buyer and I'm looking to buy financial products or hydraulic solutions, I can go to the internet, and with a few phone calls and a few clicks of my mouse, I can find out probably 90% of what the salesperson of the past knew. So if you're a salesperson selling something that your prospects and customers can go to the internet and find, I'm not talking about sourcing, I'm just talking about information. You've got to figure out a new way to bring value. And the value has to be more about the process of selling than it is the deliverable of selling. What I mean by that is, if you're selling logistics services, there's tons of people in your town who can sell logistics services. Yeah, you may be better and more comfy and cozy and be a nicer guy and better looking than the next salesperson, but there's a lot of people who can sell logistics service. So how are you going to differentiate yourself? To me, we picked the wrong way to differentiate ourselves by talking about the bells and whistles of our product. I think the way you differentiate yourself is through the selling process. It's through how you understand the customer, how you understand their pains and problems and issues and dreams and needs and capacities. It's the process you take them through. Great companies today know the process is the thing that sells. Go to the local Apple store. What is their process in there? Their process is, they have a lot of people to help you. Somebody's waiting at the door with an iPad to take your name and find out what you need. Based on that, they're expediting you to the right part of the store. At the right part of the store that you go to, somebody else is there to take your name and say it'll be 15 to 20 minutes. Would you care to wait or come back? You look up on the screen, you see your name, you know exactly how long it is, and it's exactly that amount of time before you get to see someone. And I know you hear me trumpet Apple a lot, but Apple's got the process down. Yeah, the product is good, the brand is good, but man, when you go in there, you know you're going to be taken care of. What about in your company? How do your customers feel about your process? You as a sales professional now, I'm not talking about the back-end customer service, I'm talking about you. Do you really care about them? Or do you pay that lip service so that if you say it enough times, you may believe it and they may let you in to sell them something? So process and protocol and sequence of events is becoming more important, and most salespeople don't think that way.